Hello grade 9s, this is just a lesson for you to learn on how to do cost of sales calculations. We're going to be working both forwards and backwards, so we're going to be learning how to calculate the selling price when you've been given the cost price as well as your markup, and then obviously working backwards from that. So you need to be in your box on this page where we are dealing with the profit, selling price and cost price. So you're going to have to go through this page, work through it, answer the questions that are there. It is pretty straightforward and there doesn't need to be much explanation on this. But then I'm going to be looking at the next page where we start working with formulas. Now with the formulas you're going to have to be able to calculate your selling price when you've been given cost price and your markup percentage. Now, one thing that I just wanted to show you before you get started is on your calculator. It depends on what calculator you are using, but with the calculator that I have, if you're working on what your selling price is given cost price and markup, I'm going to push or bring this example on page for you as well. So for this exercise, that's exercise 2.6, if I have a look at my cost price and markup percentage, when I want to work out my selling price, if I say cost price is 220 Rand, my markup is 50%. Now, if I say multiplied by 50%, that is going to give me 110 Rand. That is what my markup value is. It is not my selling price. I still then need to add my cost price to that markup of 110 Rand. There is another way of doing it as well. So if I say 220 Rand and my markup is 50%, if I say plus 50%, it is going to give me my selling price because I'm adding the 50% markup. So that will automatically give me my selling price of 330 Rand. If I go back to the previous way that I did it, 220 times 50%, or I can say 50 divided by 100, because 50 divided by 100 is 50%. That gives me my 110 Rand markup. I then still need to add my 220 Rand, which is my cost price, giving me 330 Rand selling price. So those are the two ways of calculating that basic selling price when you've been given cost price and markup percentage. Then we move on to the cost price formula where you've been given your selling price and markup. Now for this one, it is a little bit more tricky for those of you who struggle a little bit with your maths. But for this one, we are going to be taking your selling price, which you have been given. So in this case, my selling price is 80 Rand. I'm going to multiply it by 100 and then divide it by 100 plus my markup. My markup is 20%. So I'm going to say 120 because it's 100 plus my markup percentage. This answer is going to give me my cost price. When you've been given a cost price value of 66.666 recurring, simply round it to the nearest 1 cent. So your answer here in the cost price column is going to be 66 Rand, 67 cents. Fairly straightforward. There is an example there for you to work through as well. Just have a look through it and go over that. Then the next one is actually calculating what your markup percentage is. Now again, this one is a little bit more tricky, so I'm going to do this with you as well. Let me just get this onto the screen. So if I've been given my cost price and my selling price, I'm trying to work out what my markup is. Now remember, your markup is going to be displayed or provided in as a percentage. So the calculation here, you're taking your selling price and you're going to multiply it by 100. So 352 multiplied by 100 gives me, sorry, that's not 100, that's 10. and then I divide it by my cost price, which is 160. Following that, I minus it by 100 because I'm working on a percentage. My markup therefore is 120. So I'm taking my selling price, multiplied by 100, and then dividing by cost price. Once I've done that, I subtract 100, and then I get my markup percentage. So in this case, my markup percentage is 120. You need to work through all of these calculations, and as you go through each set of calculations, you'll see there are a series of exercises for you to do. There is going to be another video lesson shortly posted by Ms. Hoffman regarding the entry of these transactions into journals and ledgers. But you need to work through all these exercises. It starts with exercise 2.5. So starting at exercise 2.5, that is the first basic calculation exercise that you're going to have to work through. Working through then 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, and finally exercise 2.10. Once you're finished with this exercise, the answers to all of this will be given on Google Classroom. So you need to go back and make sure that you've done all those calculations correctly. If you have done that, you're welcome then to send us an email if there are any questions regarding how you go about doing this. We can also do a video chat. Just let us know that you have Wi-Fi connection, and we can do a video chat or a video lesson with you just to make sure that you are on top of it. Please make sure that you have done all of this, the calculations, etc. It shouldn't take you more than a couple of lessons. So we're going to say by next week Tuesday, all of these calculations need to be done. From there, Mrs. Hoffman, as I said, is going to be doing the entry into ledgers and into journals for you with sales and cost of sales accounts. Once those that lesson has been done, you're going to then need to move on and complete a few of those exercises in journals. Good luck, stay safe, and work hard.